What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Game Day with Trey. I'm your host, Trey, and we're going to cover the top 6 destinations for Dalvin Cook post his impending release from the Minnesota Vikings. Now, if you have not heard, okay, a couple weeks ago, the Minnesota Vikings came out and put it out there that they actually wanted to release Dalvin Cook after June 1st. All right. Today is the 7th, I'm sorry. Today is the 8th, you guys. Okay. And they still haven't released him. But this afternoon, they came out and they stated that they sat down with Dalvin today and they are going to part ways. So, what does this mean for Dalvin Cook? Well, first off, man, Dalvin Cook has been one of the top running backs since he came into the league. All right. He's rushed for 1,000 yards or over 1,000 yards for the last 4 seasons in a row. Even though he seems to be somewhat on the decline, okay, because he is 28 years old. All right. Last year, he did average only about 69 yards per game, which he still managed to get over 1,000 yards for the season. But still, the year before that, it was like 88 or 89. And then the year before that, it was 111. Okay. So he is on some sort of decline. You could contribute that or attribute that to the fact that he had a new coach last year, a first-year coach, and it was a new offensive scheme. You could attribute that to the lack of a consistent scheme before, okay, and consistent style of play before from the head coaching staff and the offensive coordinator. But whatever you want to put it on, there's multiple reasons why Dalvin's not a Minnesota Viking right now, okay? This year, he was going to be a $14 million cap hit, all right? Now, he was only due to receive $11 million, but $14 million cap hit for a 28-year-old running back, that's a lot. So, where are the spots that Dalvin looks like he would be a great fit? Well, number one for me, and as you can see, I'm not a Dolphin fan. Okay, I'm a Buccaneer fan, and we do have the worst or have had the worst running game in the league for the last 4 years. So like I've told you before, I understand the value of the running back position. They are not things that fall from trees, and it's not easy to accomplish that in the NFL. But number one team, Miami Dolphins, man. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. So first and foremost, Dalvin's from the Miami area. Being a Florida boy, I already know as being someone who's lived out of state, up north, in the cold, for a significant amount of time, you always want to get back home, man. Ain't nothing like a Florida sunset or even a Florida sunrise. You know, it's one of the best places in the world to live in the state, and he's from here. He's already been tied to the Miami Dolphins and Coach Mike McDaniel. Okay, even though Mike McDaniel has said that he is happy with the running back stable that he has right now with Raheem Mostert and what was the other young boy they got up there? Well, we'll just stick with Raheem Mostert for now. Okay, but they've got a state. Oh, and they got Wilson Jr. That's the other running back they got. They got him from San Francisco last year in a trade, which both are good running backs, you know what I mean? But they don't have a running back that can do it all. When you bring in Dalvin Cook, you're bringing in speed. You're bringing in somebody who is a very adequate run blocker, okay? I mean, not run blocker, but pass blocker, okay? So he can protect the quarterback. He does know how to read the blitzes, and I've seen him in multiple schemes. So seeing him in multiple schemes, I can understand and see why he would be a great fit for the Miami Dolphins. Plus, you also got to remember, Miami Dolphins have the best running backs coach in the NFL in Eric Studesville. They literally talk about this guy like he's the best running back coach since the turn of the millennium. All right. So he's been doing it great and for a long time. Also add in the factor that um, Mike McDaniel comes from the Shanahan tree, and they run the exact same scheme that Minnesota ran. And if you actually look at the numbers, their run scheme split. So when I'm talking about run scheme split, I'm talking about zone to gap run scheme split was identical to the Minnesota Vikings last year. So this would be like a seamless transition for him. He would be able to go back home, and not to mention, okay, that they had $13.9 million in cap space down there in Miami. Now, there are a couple things that would be a little bit of a variance. First and foremost, when he was in Minnesota, he only saw 8 in the box, or 8 or more in the box. I want to say 18% of the time. So, are the plays that he actually ran the ball. So that would be a little different. Now, they do have weapons in Miami. Let's not forget Tua. If he stays healthy and is able to be protected and able to do what he has shown he can do as long as he's on the field with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I mean, it's a dangerous combination. They definitely could look good down there in Miami. So that's number one. Let's go to number two. Number two, sad to say, man, is the New York Jets. All right. Now, New York Jets have multiple reasons why it would be a good idea for them. First off, Breece Hall is coming back from a torn ACL that he suffered mid-season last year. That can be an injury that can linger at times, especially for an explosive back like he is. Plus, when he was out, or when he went out, it just seemed like the offense got stagnant because the running game kind of halted for a little bit. They did make a trade at the end of the year last year to get a running back in there, but it still was not what they were getting from Breece Hall. James Robinson was good or serviceable, but he was not what Breece Hall was giving them. So that would definitely help them. Also add in the fact that they got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers likes to have a running back that he can go ahead and hit out there in the flats when things look crazy. You know, he likes to have that safety blanket. So there's a lot of reasons why the Jets would be a good landing spot for him. They are playoff contention. They do have a good defense. They do have a great coach in my eyes. Okay. So, and their schematically, they're a match. I mean, like 100% match to Miami and to the Vikings. So, it would definitely be an intriguing signing if he went to the New York Jets, and they have $24.7 million in cap space right now, you guys. So that's definitely a opportunity to sign the man, and I think it would be a good fit. Not to say I don't want to see that happen, you know, but that would be a great fit. It would help AR out, and it would help the Jets organization out. Next, we have the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so yeah, Dallas they got Tony Pollard, okay? But let's be honest about the situation. He's coming back from a broken fibula from last season. Who knows how that's really gonna how well that's gonna be healed. Not to speak ill upon the young man, but let's say he aggravates it or something. Then what you gonna do? You're gonna give the ball to Ronald Jones, the running back who, once he goes in the game, everybody knows that he has to be running the ball because he can't pick up a blitz and he can't catch. So, I mean, there's still the option for Dallas to bring back Zeke. We all know this, okay? But that's all predicated off of Zeke actually accepting a deal that is amendable to the Dallas Cowboys. You know, it can't just be one way. And the way he's declined in the past years, I just think that if the Zeke thing can't work out, you know, they can go in another direction. And I think Cook would be a good one. He would definitely serve good in the dual running back situation or role. They do run. It would be just they run a lot, man, and it would be a great 1-2 punch. You just got to help Dak out. Let's just keep it 100. That's all it is, really and truly. All right. So next, number 4, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I'm naming the Philadelphia Eagles because of the fact that Howie Roseman is their GM, and he collects great vets like I collect great cards. Football cards, baseball cards, I like collecting cards. And this man right here, he knows how to pick them. All right. And he would, honestly, I think that even though they brought in DeAndre Swift this offseason, it would help with the growth of McCoy. And on top of helping with the growth of McCoy, I mean, when we look and think about Howie Roseman, we think about somebody who's trying to build a running back stable like Bill Belichick did when they were building their legacy and their dynasty, up there in New England. So the Eagles have about $13.8 million in salary cap. And I did forget to tell you guys the salary cap number for the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys got $20.4 million. So they are a team that could sign him as well and not really hurt themselves in the process. All right. Next, we go to the Cleveland Browns. All right. Now, the Dog Pound would be a great landing spot for him because of the fact they did not re-sign Kareem Hunt. A good secondary running back to assist Nick Chubb would definitely be a great idea, considering you still have untested, unproven Deshaun Watson. Okay. Yes, we all know that Deshaun's been dropping dimes in OTAs. Whether it was hitting Jalen Darden on day 1 across the middle, Amari Cooper on the comeback, or People Jones in the end zone. The boy been dropping dimes. And when I'm saying dropping dimes, I mean the ball placement, everything. Everything I hear from the Cleveland Browns camp is great stuff right now. All right, as far as Deshaun Watson. So if you were to give him another running back, and when I'm saying another running back, I'm saying a running back as dynamic as Dalvin Cook. Okay, because Kareem Hunt was a very dynamic running back. And if you give him another dynamic running back so that the Kevin Stefanski system can still run the same exact way, and mind you, this system is an exact scheme fit, just like what I was telling you with Miami and just like what I was telling you with the Jets. So at the end of the day, I think it'd be a win-win for both teams and both parties. Okay. Salary cap space that they got though is only $15.8 million, which is still enough to get him, because I'm imagining he's going to want to be signed between $6 and $9 million. But yeah, I think that would be a good marriage, and that would definitely help ensure Cleveland's chances to secure the AFC North. Something they ain't done in a second. So I think I think that might be a move. Now it's going to be hard because the AFC North is definitely a tough division this year, but it could work out. Next, we go to the Baltimore Ravens. All right, with Lamar Jackson. Actually, this would be the most exciting and intriguing outside of pairing him with Jalen Hurts, because he's never really played with a running back. I mean, not a running back, but a quarterback who can run like a running back. A quarterback with the mobility and the wherewithal to think on his feet and run that RPO, because the RPO, it looks easy, but it ain't easy like that, man. There's a lot of different little intricacies and little smart, just the very, very, very small details in running that RPO is what makes the RPO successful. Okay. And I think Dalvin Cook getting the opportunity to do it for the first time in his career with a dynamic quarterback like Lamar Jackson, with Odell out there on the outside and Zay Flowers and Duvernay, Andrews, their lines already built to run the ball. The Todd Monken, the new offensive coordinator, that came from Georgia, he does run a lot of RPO. And he likes to run the ball. So I think that might be a very good spot. I think it could be beneficial. Cap space is only at 11.5 million, but they might be able to work something out. So I got one more team I would name, but they don't have much money, man. Okay, they would be the 7th team, and so I'll give you a bonus. All right, New York Giants. New York Giants have rescinded the offer for a long-term deal with Saquon Barkley. So since they did that, all right, their only option now is to franchise tag him. They're at an impasse in their contract negotiations. Now, they do have Matt Breida, and they drafted Eric Gray in the 5th round, like I told you about in the Giants coverage the other day. If you haven't seen it and you want to know about the Giants, please check it out. It is a very in-depth offseason report letting you know exactly where the New York Giants sit at right now. And even though they only got $3.8 million in salary cap, they could probably finagle a couple things since they are not, or if they were not, to bring back Saquon. It could be a possibility. I really don't see it happening, not with the Giants. Like I said, the top 6 teams are the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Cleveland Browns, and the Baltimore Ravens. So, let me know what y'all think. All right. Shooting some stuff out there for y'all, man. Something for you guys to go ahead and marinate on for a tick. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a blessed day and stay safe. Peace.